A referee who sprays a player, fans climbing a tree to watch Barcelona, and one of the absolute craziest goal celebrations I've ever seen. Here are 25 incredible football moments that nobody believes until they saw them. Like this confusion tactic during a corner. Looks great, but it didn't help. The player didn't look good during our number 24 either. He celebrated too early. This youth player in Thailand celebrated too soon. He cheered, but the opponent was still able to clear the ball off the line. And then the look. Why do they keep on playing? The referee spray provided us with some funny moments. Like here, the referee tests it and Santi Cazorla gets it in his face by mistake. Not the only time this has happened. Here too, the referee wants to test whether the spray works and hits the player right in the face. It almost looked like he did it on purpose, right? At least the ref apologized afterwards. Off to Liverpool. They are playing a great season this year and everyone is excited about Klopp's successor Arne Slot. When he was still a player in the Netherlands, he however showed us an unusual kickoff variation. At the kickoff, he shoots the ball into the sky. Why? Because, it doesn't seem to make sense, right? Actually, the plan was that the teammates would run immediately to the opponent's penalty box, and Slot was supposed to shoot the ball there from the kickoff to confuse the opponent and maybe score a goal straight away. But instead, we got this. And we only at the beginning. One of the most incredible goal celebrations in recent years, one that made Henry go crazy, is still to come. But first, an incredible goal that we will probably never see like this again. During the fall, the player lobs the ball over the goalkeeper. Was that intentional or just coincidence? Well, the most important thing is to score, I would say. Patrick Wood showed us here in the Australian League that this is not always that easy though.
Back to Vikovic, the mistake, and the miss! You will never see that again. That is the most astonishing miss.
Unbelievable. Even the player can't believe it. Why he didn't use his left foot was revealed by the coach after the game. Because Wood was injured, but honestly, this is not an excuse. A player who plays in the first Australian League should score here without any problem. We're heading to Germany for one of the cutest duels in the Bundesliga. It almost looks like the two of them are holding hands. In a game where no cuteness is shown, the Clásico in Spain. And a big surprise at the Supercopa in January 2025. Barca dominated and swept Real out of the stadium with 5-2. But the craziest scene was when Rafinha was annoyed by Mbappe's long treatment time and then simply carried the medical kit of Madrid off the pitch. Some fans would do almost anything to see Barcelona. For example, climb a tree. And now for a crazy moment in the Champions League where the player did something forbidden. November 2024 and a big game in the Champions League, Bayern versus PSG. But when Olise was supposed to come on, the referee refused. Why? Olise was not wearing shin guards, so he got some, and when the referee looked away, he threw them away again. Why? But then trouble from UEFA, whereupon Olise now always wears them. Our number 15, and this one is incredible. Liverpool had just won 4-2 against Newcastle, and while celebrating on the pitch, the then coach Jürgen Klopp lost his wedding ring. But fortunately, there was the cameraman.
He annoyed me quite a lot of times already this season, but today, now he has a lot of shots free because that was really important.
Now for our next moment where the player got a red card for his goal celebration. Captain Andy McCarthy tried to shoot the ball into the goal again after the goal, but hit the goalkeeper. And the referee said to himself, not good, and gave a red card. Our next number was also red here in Turkey. Why? Because the player slapped his own teammate. The players can't believe it, but yeah, you can beat up your own teammate. And now to one of my favorite moments.
Will reach this just ahead of Chepaguliev, trying to keep
Yellow for the player, but the referee decided to check again on the screen.
no yellow card.
The ref says no yellow, and the player was happy and wanted to give a high five, and only then saw that it was a straight red card. The facial expression says it all. Fans also looked in disbelief in 1997. Frank Sinclair scored a goal and wanted to celebrate the birth of his daughter in a very special way. Yeah, what a celebration. But let me tell you, the celebration during our number 1 is even crazier. But first to our number 10, and it was a good one too. Look what the referee did here in the 3rd Dutch league. The ball bounced off his leg into the goal, but according to the rules at the time, the goal counted because the referee was considered part of the game, so he had no choice but to award the goal, which the opposing team wasn't too happy about. Also during our number 9, the player here from Houston didn't agree with the referee decision.
Type of challenge in the first half. It was probably going to come down to that in the second half.
And then the VAR got in touch.
Number 16, spitting, red card, final decision, red card.
Rightly read, I would say, you don't do that. Just like you don't tackle your opponent unfairly. The same goes for coaches. But Mourinho didn't care.
This is Jonathan Wilkes.
He laughs and everyone looks confused. The whole thing was during a charity match in 2014, so it was a funny moment. However, this is not the first time that Mourinho has intervened directly during a charity match. Better than his recent action in Turkey, I would say.
Jose Mourinho has gone viral after this. He pinched...
But now to a scene where two things went wrong after each other. First, the ball bounces up and knocks the fan's beer out of his hand, and then the fan kicks his mate's beer away. Simply hilarious to watch. And if you don't want me to kick your drink out of your hand, hey, subscribe. It's free and you help us a lot. We almost got to the top, but first our number 6, where the referee accidentally hit 2 players. I wonder if that was really an accident. But now to a scene which led the Brazilian Football Federation to change its rules. Dutchman Memphis Depay had been playing for Corinthians in Brazil since September 2024. But in the final of the Campeonato Paulista, this scene. He briefly stood on the ball, which the opponents took as disrespectful behavior, and then went after him. And even after the game, the whole thing made waves. The Brazilian Football Federation even changed the rules. From now on, standing on the ball is considered unsportsmanlike behavior, for which there is a yellow card and an indirect free kick. Depay said such rules would limit creativity and enjoyment of the game, and Neymar also commented, "Football is getting more and more boring." Our number 4, on the other hand, is not boring at all, because the goalkeeper did something that made the opposing fans really angry. June 2022. Peru against Australia. An important game because it was about qualifying for the World Cup. After a goalless game, the match went to penalties. Australia brought in goalkeeper Andrew Redmayne for the shootout, and then he did this. He threw away the bottle of the goalkeeper of Peru, where Peru had noted where the Australians usually shoot. The Aussie fans said it was brilliant. The fans from Peru thought it was not that nice. And in the end, Australia progressed, also thanks to Redmayne.
A ver cómo define. Valera.
Reason it was kind of like a kill or be killed moment, so I took my moment.
Welcome to our top 3, and this story here is crazy because this team scored an own goal on purpose and hence won the game. In 1994, Barbados played Grenada for the Caribbean Cup qualifiers, and in the tournament there was a curious rule. If the game goes into extra time, then the team that scores the first goal wins, and this goal then counts double. Barbados needed to win by 2 goals to progress, but the score was 2-1 in the 87th minute, so they decided to score an own goal. Why? Well, now it was 2-2. In extra time they had 30 minutes to score a goal, which would count double, and they actually scored and hence won 4-2 and progressed. Absolutely crazy. That's also our number 2. Here the player substituted himself into the game without telling the coach. German Cup final 1973. Gladbach against Cologne. At Gladbach there was a superstar at the time. Günther Netzer. but it would be his last game because he had decided to move to Real Madrid. His coach at the time, Hennes Weisweiler, was mad about this move and benched Netzer, also because Netzer had not played well in the previous games. But then this legendary moment, the game went to extra time and Netzer spoke to a player before kickoff that he should go out, and he substituted himself in without speaking to the coach, who looked completely stunned. And then Netzers first move with the ball was this.
An den Ball, Doppelpass mit Rainer Bonhoff, der spielt den Ball zurück und Netzer trifft in den Winkel!
He actually scored the winning goal. Amazing. And also our number one was absolutely crazy. We are in the semifinals of the CONCACAF Nations League, US versus Panama. And in stoppage time, the winning goal for Panama.
Forward for Waterman, Cecilio Waterman! And he celebrates with Thierry Henry.
Panama look to have found a winner!
He said to me, eres mi ídolo, eres mi ídolo.
You're my idol.
Our very own Thierry Henry!
I never thought I was going to be part of a celebration like that, and not scoring the goal, not being even on the field.
What an incredible moment. And if you want to see more videos like this, then check out this one about the best goals of the Champions League.